What are actions that scream I'm cheating in a relationship? In my case, she was talking to a male friend a lot, talking to him. And even though she let me read the conversations, I started asking questions because they were texting throughout the day. A lot of messages went back and forth, and I got insecure. She thought I wasn't trusting her, and now I shouldn't make a problem about her talking to him that much because he was just a friend. She broke up with me. A few days later they got together. She was my first relationship. That stuff hurts. In all my past relationships that went sour due to cheating, there was one thing they all had in common: they constantly accused me of cheating, even though I never did. Take my last ex, for example. They once accused me of planning to cheat with a TV actor. I didn't even know the actor's real name. I just thought they were cute. This accusation led to a huge fight. Later on, I discovered that my ex was actually cheating on me with just a friend. It's been 5 years now, but the ridiculousness of it still pops into my head every now and then. I had a service industry job essentially. I could work my own hours as long as I got my root customers done. Basically 7-4. I started an AR with a friend from college. I would call her every day at 4:45 and talk for like an hour. We would call and talk throughout the week after my wife went to bed as well. At one point I even said to my wife, "Do you think I'm cheating on you?" I in fact was emotionally cheating on her. I'm in therapy now to work through my transgressions and hopefully be a better man. My previous relationship of 5 years, it was projection. My every little move was examined. I couldn't be around the other women pretty much, period. Randomly, probably about 6 months before I ended it, she had sat me down completely out of the blue and said something along the lines of, "I've never done anything to cheat on you ... Have you done the same for me?" I was just like, "Okay, I believe you. I haven't done anything ... Yep, she was the cheater. Lying, seemingly without reason. Becoming defensive when asked for details about their day. Being overly protective about privacy when you weren't prying, invading space. And, my personal favorite, actual gaslighting accusations of jealousy, insecurities once you catch wind of what's happening and begin investigating. This was the point where I broke it off. A relationship when, after her not being in the mood for sex for far longer than I'd be willing to admit, I went to her house to find her demo sex toys from the busyness I paid for, sitting in the sink. Her excuse was, "I was trying to get myself in the mood for you." There were other signs previous, and it was confirmed after the fact. Secretive with phone. Tells you it's because he needs his privacy. Never offers you his phone for any reason. Gets defensive if you question him about it. Tells you you're just insecure. Jumps at the chance to be alone. Loses interests in date nights and being romantic. Lack of psychical affection or sexual initiation. If he or she has more fun with her or his friends than with you. If he or she talks to you about that special friend a lot. If he or she starts putting passwords to stuff that didn't have before. If he or she has to do extra work at the office, and then the paycheck is the same as if there was no extra hours. Constantly on their phone texting people but claiming they have no friends. Never wanting to have sex or be touched. Always taking pictures of themselves and random things but never posting or showing you. Treating you poorly. D wasn't my partner, but I busted him for cheating on my mother when I suspected that him talking on the phone in the driveway for a half hour each night after she went to bed was not business related. I don't even know if I should have done that. The marriage ended. They are allowed to have friends of the opposite sex, but you aren't. My ex literally was talking to a guy friend she hooked up with and wanted to forbid me from having any female friends. Needless to say, the relationship didn't last. She went out of town and cheated. If you get in his car and you smell another woman's perfume, if you aren't using condoms with him, that he has a box of condoms in his backseat, you don't even have to catch the guy with the woman. It's the circumstantial evidence that adds up. When they play a game on their phone, their posture is relaxed. You could easily glance over and see their screen. But then, when texting, they sit up and hold their phone close to them so you couldn't possibly catch a glance of their screen. Relationship. Well, if they start referring to you as user instead of your name, and their alibi is always processing data or running diagnostics, you might be dating an AI with commitment issues. Been cheated on a few times is weird sort of gaslighting where you point out they're acting weirdly about something that never used to be weird, and they turn it around and start saying you're the one who's actually acting weird. I would say a sudden change in communication. When my ex and I went long distance, I noticed he didn't message me as often, and there were days he would go Mia. His reason being that he was busy with work. But turns out he was cheating. There was a post complaining about this assumption the other day. The hypersensitivity around their phone. A dead giveaway. They don't let it out of their sight and get twitchy if you're near it or looking at what they're doing on it. Coming home late for no rhyme or reason. Having a burner phone. Coming back 3 hours late for a trip to the grocery store. Also always accusing you of infidelity and accusing you of texting other 300 fools anytime you're on your phone. On edge about their phone. Especially when messages or calls pop up and they've become distant and secretive. It might be worth having an open conversation about what's going on in your relationship. They get instantly and visibly angry when you decide to hang out with them instead of whatever you were going to do instead. They were planning on texting the other person, and you fucked that up. Now they are pissed. Receiving a wedding invitation from his fiancée of for years, whom I thought was just a good friend of his, was a clear sign that he was cheating. It made me realize that I was the other woman, coming in second place. Ex of 8 years relationship told me during our shift that she's going to the US. I asked her what she planned to do there. She said she was getting married. She cheated so much that she forgot who she was talking to. I overheard one kid at my school complaining about being accused of cheating and telling her friend that there's not enough time for that after school, work, etc. Later in the year she cheated on one of my friends, starting a fight or making a huge drama when they arrive home. So you think about that instead of where they've been ... taking extra care over grooming ... suddenly becoming suspicious of your friends and activities, always laying their phone upside down, so when they get a message you can't see it, or always making sure that their phone is not reachable for you. For example, placing the phone under their pillow when sleeping. When your partner starts to accuse you of cheating or becoming paranoid about with no rhyme or reason. I've had this happen twice in relationships, and both times I found out the guy I was with was cheating on me. Does she keep her phone locked around you? Does she watch how much she drinks around you? Does she leave the room when she takes phone calls? Does she keep perfume in her purse? Does she shower before sex? Hiding phone from you? Has a burn phone? Stays out very late or overnight? Shut down. No interest in working on your relationship. Taking a lot of care with their appearance. Buying new underwear or lingerie. I had a co-worker, and at every opportunity he bragged about how much he loved his kids and wife, and how blessed he was with his family. Months later we went on team building where he fed all the girls. Phone on airplane mode when sitting next to your girlfriend. Bonus points if a guy says things repeatedly like we trust each other, so we never need to go through each other's phones out of nowhere. Suddenly becoming overly friendly, it's someone all of a sudden, or him bringing up someone more often and getting into inappropriate about how they talk about someone. One thing I noticed missing from the list is when your partner starts accusing you of cheating out of the blue. Even though you haven't changed your behavior at all, there could be a simple excuse for most of these signs. I think the most obvious sign of cheating is if she is being fucked by some guy girl in your bed. Cheater going from non-focused attention to hyper-focused attention. Accusing the non-cheater of cheating. Hypervigilance around cell phone borrowing. Anything that could be perceived as sexual, such as kissing, the act of intercourse, and sexually touching someone else without permission from your SO. A lot of these actions and signs that people are listing are the same signs that a person is just losing interest in you, not necessarily cheating. I had her phone's password, like she had mine. Then, my ex-wife suddenly installed a password specifically to her WhatsApp, should have known they're proposing for open relationship. When that happens, something is already happening under the hood and they just want to legalize it. For some reason, trying to stay out of shot in any family photos just so nobody can spot tag you on social media or whatever. Which is what some idiot I know did. Random basis accusations. They're meant to deflect the blame onto the partner who's getting cheated, so the cheater may avoid feeling guilty. When they all of a sudden have their phone on silent when you're around, and when they put their phone down, they put it down screen first. Secret communication, looking better when she is not with you. Over 2.5 goals. Indonesia Liga 1. Persik Kadiri PSS Sleeman. Secrecy with devices. Decreased intimacy and explained absences. Emotional distance. And sudden changes in behavior or routine. That's when your partner goes out with his friends every night. And he only has one friend. And he lives in another state, fucking someone else other than you. Everything else could possibly be your partner is just an asshole. It is not cheating. If you walk in and they are bent over the couch with some guy hanging out the back of them, then they are probably cheating. You build a paper mache volcano and show it to her. If she's too busy fucking another guy to notice, she's cheating on you. They start using new phrases or words that are uncharacteristic of them, possibly picked up from their affair partner. An unusual increase in work obligations, especially late nights, weekends, or business trips that don't quite add up.